Thumbs up if you think fall is an amazing time of year. You get to pull out your sweaters and you get to see the beautiful leaves and all that kind of stuff. And it is wonderful, isn't it? Hey, I find that this time of year, especially coming up now, the end of October, there's a day that particularly a certain religion likes to rebuke all the witches and all the candy and all the costumes and the pumpkins, the candy corn they're so afraid of, or are calling it a day of evil. Like the devil even has a day. Like you can't celebrate a guy's day if he doesn't have a day. That's the first thought. But chill, candy corn's been dead for a long time. I wouldn't care less if candy corn was gone. So rebuke it all by all means. Don't give me candy corn. I will rebuke you for giving me candy corn because I don't like it. But here's what gets me. We say we hate death and darkness, but yet we preach about it every single day. And a fear of hell and fear of the rapture and fear of missing it. Talk about a haunted pulpit. We don't need horror movies. We got haunted pulpits that are scaring people to death. Actually, quite literally, to death. I think death is not just about dead bodies or scary ghosts, but death is more when you're crippled and you're stuck and you're afraid to take a step. You're afraid to live. You're afraid to make a decision. You're afraid to approach God. You're afraid to look up. You're afraid to say His name. You're afraid to love. You're afraid to live out of the nature of who you are because we've been sold a fear to control, to put on a mask. We're rebuking children with costumes on, but yet so many that wear a mask because they're afraid to really reveal themselves. They're afraid that lightning will come from the sky, thunder and lightning, and something's gonna die if I truly reveal myself. And I will be missing out and I will be rejected. Fear of rejection. I think the root of fear of rejection from people is not really that's not deep enough. I think the depth and the actual root of it is that the fear of being rejected by the very one that created us. The God of the universe, the cosmos, the man in the sky that we're so hard, like working so hard to please and make sure we're on his good side. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's what we should be rebuking, is that fear. Maybe that's what we should drive out. But how do we do it? Maybe Halloween isn't the real problem, but it's the obsession of fear. Some people are just obsessed with fear. I don't think scary creatures and dead things or the costumes that children wear to go trick-or-treating, I don't think that's the scary thing. I think the scary thing is when people are not living to their full potential. And it's because of their obsession of fear. And this is the obsession of fear that we got. Get right or miss out, or get left behind. The end is near is another term that's often used, and the world is gonna burn. You hear these quotes being said everywhere. We've made God sound like he's running out of patience instead of overflowing with love. How limited are we? How much are we limiting God? Like, how small of love do we think he has? Like, if he is love, so anything that comes out of him is love. What if God isn't trying to end the world, but he's redeeming it? That sounds more like hope, does it not? We've sold this message of fear, turn or burn, but we call that hope. We call that good news. What if that wasn't the message that Jesus came to say? Romans 8 says this, creation groans. It's not dying. It's giving birth. It's in labor right now. The earth is in labor. They're like birth pains, but not of death, but of giving life. That's why it says it groans for the sons and daughters of God to awaken. It's giving birth. It's excited to see humanity rise up and fully live. Acts 3:21 says, heaven must receive him until the time comes for God to restore everything. Notice he doesn't say he came to blow it up. He says to restore it. Colossians 1 says, through Christ, God reconciles all things in heaven and on earth. I think all things means all things. Revelation 21 says, this is my favorite part. It doesn't say making all new things, but it says I'm making all things new. God is not sweeping off the table and saying, I'm starting over. My first plan didn't work. I'm blowing this out, burning it to ashes, and I will make something new. He says, no. He sent Jesus into this world, not into the world to come. He sent Jesus into this world, into this humanity, so he could be in you and restore you and me. Whew. There's a big difference. That doesn't sound, that's not escape, that's renewal. So many people live in this idea of an escape plan. Jesus made an escape plan for us. We were in a prison. We were in a world that the devil controls. The devil's got it, right? The world is by the devil. He rules it. And God is snatching us out of a world that the devil's got. And then he's going to burn it with all his devils and all the ones that didn't believe. I don't think Jesus created an escape plan. I think he came to restore the kingdom that he started long, long ago. The kingdom he gave humanity, the authority and power he gave humanity, and he wanted that humanity to wake up to its DNA. I don't think it was all lost. I think it was dormant. It was covered in darkness. There was no light, so the light had to turn on something that was there. Maybe that sounds more like hope, does it not? We've been told we need to fear the end. It's like the world's funeral. But what if it's actually a birth? What if it's something giving birth? What if it is... So you often hear the word apocalypse. The apocalypse of doom, right? But instead of, what if it isn't an apocalypse of doom, but what if it's actually the unveiling of love? Because if you look at the word apocalypse, it actually means the unveiling. Apocalypso. The book of Revelation. The book of Revelation is the most beautiful book ever. So much poetry and illustration of a God of love who comes to restore, violently saves his humanity. Destroys systems that torment, destroys powers that control and have crippled humanity for so long. Fear and death and systems and religion and governments and kingdoms that hurt humanity. He will do everything in his power to redeem his humanity out of it so they can live in love and in light. Because the word apocalypse doesn't mean destruction, it means revelation. It's revealing. Something is being revealed, and something has been revealed. It isn't the end of the world. It's the end of a lie. It's the end of an illusion. It's the end of darkness. That's what the book of Revelation is. It's the end of darkness. It's the end of a lie. It's the end of control. It's the end of fear. It's the end of an enemy that has crippled us. And the enemy isn't your neighbor. The enemy isn't your family or the person beside you. The end was the lie. The end was the darkness that casted shadows upon your life and crippled you of fear and caused you to curl up in a corner and not live. So many people are crippled by fear and not being able to live fully, to step out and just enjoy life, to love freely, without condition. Fear tries to look like love, but there's always a string attached. There's always a selfish motive behind it. If you don't believe what I say, and I'll love you, but only if you receive what I say. Jesus said in Luke 17, the kingdom of God is within you. He didn't say coming soon in a rapture near you. You know, those ads, coming soon near you. You know, he didn't say that. He said it's already here. The kingdom of God is in you. That's why he taught us to pray. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The goal was never to be evacuated from this world, but it's transformation. It's not an evacuation plan. The gospel is heaven invading earth through you, through forgiveness, your forgiveness and your love. 1 John 4 says, perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love. So if your theology makes you afraid, it's not coming from love, it's coming from religion. And love doesn't threaten, it transforms. Love doesn't burn the world, it heals it. That sounds more like hope. So this Halloween, maybe instead of rebuking devils and rebuking costumes and candy and little 5-year-olds walking down your street just looking for a little bit of a treat, maybe let love unmask our fear. Our fear of God, first of all, and then maybe in turn that'll unmask our fear of one another. There's so much fear of one another, of our neighbor, of our neighboring countries, of our people that don't look like us and don't act like us, don't dress like us, don't eat the same food we do. Maybe let love unmask who God really is, that he's not a God coming to judge, but a Father who's come to rescue and restore and to love and to give you life abundant. That will cause us to unmask all our fears of our fellow human beings. The cross wasn't about escaping death, but it was about ending it. Because the gospel isn't a horror story, it's a resurrection story. We celebrate it every year, but it's a year-long thing. It's every day. I had a witch once, claimed to be a witch, a lady, who wanted to scare me. Took my hand, said, hey, take my hand. And for a split second I thought, should I? What if there's demons? But I was like, no, remember. Someone greater lives in me. So I gladly took her hand, let her take my hand. She took my hand and she looked at me, at my eyes, and just, in all seriousness says, I have the power to change light, to dim the lights and to brighten lights. And went on and on about all that kind of stuff. And wanted me to believe that she possessed the power to do all this stuff. And I said, no, you don't. And then she couldn't just but agree that, she just had to agree with me at the end that she didn't possess the power. Because the creator of the universe, who is light himself, has shown up and revealed everywhere. Jesus didn't go around rebuking devils. He went around turning on the light. He went around loving humanity, loving unconditionally, and giving life to people. And devils just came out of people here and there and everywhere. He just showed up and turned on the light, and they came out screaming and just had to reveal themselves. Maybe instead of punching out darkness, let's just turn on the light. And then we would be able to clearly see for what it really is. The real trick of religion is this: convincing us that God's love has limits. We've been tricked, we've been duped. But here's the treat. Here's the treat. Love wins, light wins, and life wins. The world isn't falling apart. I think it's falling into redemption.